I'm retro. Let's get it. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. Yeah, it's lit in the chop shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based to debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30, let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the chop shop, cause they cutting up. It's retro, coming to you live to the chop shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the chop shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the chop shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, who's not on the screen, but he's coming back in the screen shortly, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via YouTube Live and Facebook Live. It's a great, great day. It's Women Rock Wednesday, and you know women really rock every day with us. But guess what? This is a special day. Women have priority. And Jimmy, I don't know whether or not you're going to open up them. You might need to gas your thing up, because I got a couple of topics. Might have to open that phone line up today. We got, because I just want to know. I know it's Women Rock Wednesday, and let me shout out to all the women, and I'll get to that later. Let me go to the Facebook feed, and what I try to do every day, we try to acknowledge our first five, our starting five. That's the first 5 people who log on to either Facebook or YouTube, and we put them in this thing. And who? Guess what I come out with today? Let me see. I got a lot of men. Tori Raspberry is one. Brandy Nickerson. Who else we got? Jessica Brooks, Yolanda Green, and Jimmy. Mindy Collins is back, baby. Oh my goodness. Mindy's back. And our 6th woman of the day is Tyandra Holmes. Yes, Women Rock Wednesday. Jimmy, I got a couple of women topics today. Let me see. I just don't know where to start, y'all. First of all, let's get down to business. You know, a lot of stuff happened last night, but Jimmy, let me share some with everybody. Like I said, happy Women Rock Wednesday, and everybody, we are a day away from the opening of the National Football League season. And Jimmy, if I was an NBA coach, I'd start every pregame meeting with, remember, LeBron is going to block your layup. Come up with a new plan. I promise you. That's what I'll do before every game. But I want to shout out. Let me shout out to my women today. Let's go. Ruby Bridges. She was the first black child to attend an all-white public school in the South. She was born on this date. She's 66 years old. I got more. Ruby Bridges. I got Jimmy, you remember I always talk about The Watchmen. I know you probably haven't had a chance to see it, but Regina King stars in The Watchmen. It's an HBO. It was over. It's over. I mean, the first season's over now. But what's the reason is when she rocks today, Jimmy. She makes history with at the Venice Film Festival, Jimmy. They featured her. She became the first black woman to have her film, her directorial debut, and have her film One Night in Miami, Jimmy, premiere in the Venice Film Festival. That's the first time that ever happened to a woman. And Jimmy, One Night in Miami, heck of a movie, Jimmy. It's a movie. It's a theme of more than timely. And I want y'all to check it out. Make sure y'all check it out. It's a love letter to the black man's experience in America. She said, Regina King said, they're unique. She said, I mean, they're deities to her. But here, they're just talking about their fears and concerns and being vulnerable and honest. Let me tell you a little bit about this movie, One Night in Miami, that was so hot that they had the Venice Film Festival, woman or not, they had to allow it in. The movie is adapted from someone named Kemp Powers' play by the same name. Some people might be familiar with it. It tells the story, Jimmy, of one night and four black icons. You had boxer Cassius Clay, also known as Muhammad Ali. You had activist Malcolm X, singer Sam Cooke, and football player Jim Brown. They talked about the what they were doing in Miami. And Jimmy, it was so unique. Muhammad Ali was fighting down in Miami in 1964, Jimmy, and Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, he emerges victorious from the Miami Beach Convention Center as the world heavyweight champion. But guess what? Due to Jim Crow segregated laws, the boxer couldn't stay on the island where he was boxing at. So he celebrated at the Hampton House and a motel in Miami's Overtown neighborhood where the black. In other words, he wasn't welcome inside. He fought in South Beach, but he wasn't welcome in South Beach. It's a story that I'd never heard of, and thank you, Regina King, for bringing that adaptation to life. The first black woman. Okay, well, sometimes you have a slip of the tongue. Stacy Houston, who's on the Facebook, said first black woman. I thought I said first black woman, but sometimes if you talk for 2 hours, you might have a slip of the tongue. Get you one of these shows and you'll see how it works. But it's a unique. Listen to the story, Stacy. Unique story. 4 black icons in a hotel in Overtown, Miami. And the reason they stand in Overtown, because the guy who just won the heavyweight championship could not stay over on Miami Beach and what they call the island. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Check into that. That's a great, I mean, when I saw it, it just warmed my heart. Regina King is doing big things. And another thing, when Jimmy get back, thinking about Naomi Osaka, and I just watched her last night. She had, I'm gonna play a little video for you after her interview. Let's check this out. Jimmy, and I'm just watching, Jimmy, and I know you like to talk about the media, and you studied the media a little bit over the years. There's several things that happened in this U.S. Open that I just did not understand, and I would like, and since it's Women Rock Wednesday, I'd like to just get your opinion about being media bias. I saw this posted. These two articles from the same man, and his name is Mark Berman, Jimmy. Last year, a couple of years ago, September the 8th, if you look on the screen, Jimmy, uh, he posted wrote an article about Serena acted like a sore loser. Okay, that's September the 8th, 2018. But Novak Djokovic, he and it was I think it was a mistake, Jimmy. I don't know if you've seen it. He just hit the tennis ball backwards and wasn't looking where he was hitting, and hit the line judge in the throat. And he got immediately, Jimmy, disqualified from the match and sent home. This the number one seed, the best men's tennis player in the world. He got sent home. Look at the difference in the headlines, Jim. Since you study the press, look at the difference in the headlines. Novak Djokovic, excessive punishment is terrible for U.S. Open. He hit a line judge in the throat, got put out of the event, and Serena just, all she did was disagree with the call of a line judge. And look at the headlines at the New York Post, how they printed it. And I mean, and you can you can comment on it if you want to, but I mean, it's Women Rock Wednesday, and I just found that when I looked at those two, I had to side by side. I had to look. I said, "Wow, media bias. That's what you call media bias." Jimmy, if you can you share just your knowledge of, because I know you always talk about, hey man, you got to be on the right side of politics. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. I mean, help me out with that situation, Jimmy. What do you think about it?
I mean, it happens. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be objective, but that doesn't always happen. And that's, we've been seeing it. The thing is, if you're paying attention, you can notice that all around. You can notice that when people are even commentating. If you're really paying attention to some certain players, if they miss a couple shots, then the commentator or the color analyst will make certain statements. If they don't, if it's another color, just think about how certain people, they doing the game, they're watching the Miami Heat. Just think of how the voice rises when they're talking about Tyler Hero. Just think about it. You just pay attention to certain things, and then if let's say Middleton hit a shot, or not even Middleton, but go Bledsoe will hit a shot. It's not the same. Or a guy off the bench hit a shot from Milwaukee. You just pay attention. Now the thing is, with Serena, remember now, when you're in the media, the vast majority, especially talking tennis, is white media. Serena, one of the things is she's been kicking butt, and when you're winning, it kind of repels against a lot of the criticism. It's kind of so she has not made it easy for a lot of them to cover her, because she's been one of the ones that's routinely, if she will confront it or attack it or address it.
Jim, I think she's nice to the media.
No, I didn't say she's mean to them. She will address it if you've been slighting or not unfair. She's been one who will address it to that person in the past. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, but she's not all. A lot of people will turn the other cheek on it. And you guys, it just one of those things where a lot of things are magnified. If you look at it this way, as far as him accidentally hitting that tennis ball, hitting the line judge in the throat with the tennis ball. Yes, it might have been an accident. I mean, yeah. But at the same time, there's oftentimes we all commit accidents, but we still have to take our punishment that comes with an accident.
I don't mind the punishment. His punishment was fine.
But the headline says the writer, understand, says excessive. That's the headline that you just put up. Excessive. So that means the writer felt, no, man, that wasn't, you should just slap him on the wrist. Well, I mean, it is what it is, the punishment. You hit the guy in the neck. And the guy stayed down for a little while.
That was a woman, Jimmy. It was a woman. It was a woman.
Oh, it was a woman? That was
Yeah.
a woman? Okay, I didn't know. That was
Yeah.
the line to us. She stayed down for a little while and had to be hospitalized briefly up to that afterwards. So guess what? You take that and run with it. Now the thing is, a lot of people felt, that had their tennis hunger abbreviated because they wanted to see him advance all the way to the gym. I mean, guess what? It's one of those things. It's one of those things. And now, what was his reaction from it? He apologized.
Yes. He
You
apologized.
see, he was sincere, but still, it's the punishment. It's the punishment.
But you know what? I wasn't really concerned with him. I'm just really talking about the media bias. And the reason I brought it up, Jimmy, because in my research, something haunted me. Remember I told you yesterday I was researching Adam Clayton Powell because I didn't really know who he was. In my research, Jimmy, remember these dates, Jimmy. Adam Powell died April the 4th, ladies and gentlemen, 1972. April the 4th. Remember that date, Jimmy. On April 6th of 1972, that same year, he died on the 4th. On April 6th, Jimmy, it was an editorial in the New York Times. This is what I'm talking about bias. It was a piece. It said it was crazy. Powell used to be and let me help you out a little bit. Powell, he used to complain about the New York Times. Okay, he called it the Cracker Bible. All right, but they wrote in this editorial, Jimmy, I was reading. They said on April the 4th, 1968, a black leader named Martin Luther King was killed in Memphis. 4 years later, to that date, April the 4th, 1972, a black leader named Adam Clayton Powell died in Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami, Florida. Hold on, Jimmy. One died and left a legacy, and the other died and left nothing. Jimmy, I almost jumped out of my chair. And the reason I said, because if we read that, we would think that man left nothing. If we would read that and did not go, Jimmy, and him and Martin Luther King died on one day, he died on, but the editorial in the paper, they said Martin Luther King left a legacy and he left nothing. Let me tell you something, in case you didn't know. Just gonna give you a couple things before we go in the break. He came up with the Don't Buy Where You Can't Work campaign. Go Google that. To me, Powell, probably more than any other African American, changed the 20th century for black people. Let me show you what he did, Jimmy. I'm going to give you a couple of things. What we know as the Civil Rights Movement, he did 20 years before the Civil Rights Movement in New York. Adam Clayton Powell was responsible for blacks driving buses in Harlem 20 years before the Montgomery boycott. Matter of fact, Martin Luther King, go look it up. I know you don't go research everybody. Martin Luther King said he read Adam Clayton Powell's book. That what prompted him to organize the boycott. Jimmy, he led a boycott against Con Edison. That's like our Reliant. They wouldn't have no blacks, Jimmy. Guess what he told the blacks to do? On Tuesday, cut off all your lights. They called it Black Tuesday. Check this out, Jimmy. And guess what else he told them to do? He told all the black people, when you go and pay your light bill, pay them in pennies, which jammed up the pay stations, Jimmy. So it was so frustrating, they had to have blacks. Don't let nobody tell you who your heroes are and who leaves a legacy. But if I read the New York Times only, I would have thought this man did not leave a, and it's more. Jimmy, it's more. He was in Congress, Jimmy, and I think he was responsible for introducing 60 bills to Congress. More active than any other congressman. But he didn't leave a legacy. Let me tell y'all something, and I didn't even really mean to start this show like this, but we got to understand, we got to watch what we read. Jimmy, I'm watching some friends of mine post some stupid stuff that they have not even researched on social media. And I'm sitting there saying, man, come on, man. But Jimmy, you can we can go to a break. You can comment or whatever you want to do. And in other words, just set us up for the next segment. Set us up for the next segment. Yeah, Coach, you got me. They got me on that one.
Now we come back, guys. We're gonna crank this thing up and talk some NBA basketball, and as well as and get your thoughts, of course, on both of the games last night. Let's crank this thing up. You guys, meanwhile, you're on the Facebook feed. Share the show with your timelines. It's that time. You're on YouTube. Go ahead on and give us a thumbs up right now. Let's get it crunk. We come right back after these messages.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lord. The juice. I got the juice.
No, God!
How many opportunities we're going to get at this level. Some people are built for this moment and some people are not. And I just think that when you've been in the process and you've been building your mind and your body and your soul for the postseason, no matter the circumstances, no matter the environment, then you're able to rise.
Look out as, wow.
Oh, doing the limbo there.
That was
huh?
pretty impressive.
Yes, it was. I thought he was going to hit the dirt.
Watch your face.
And then the Matrix. Oh, my goodness.
Kept his balance.
How does the guy do
That's
that?
incredible.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, here on Women Rock Wednesday. And guess what? The women are in the building, Jimmy. And Jimmy, Rick was commenting. Rick, I'm gonna comment to you later about that. I understand about what certain authors do, and it's our job to combat that, Jimmy. That's how you combat it. So when people know, just read. Just read a little bit more than one article. But Jimmy, some unique things happened in the NBA last night. I think ain't somebody gone home, Jimmy? Didn't somebody? I mean, what happened? What happened last night in the NBA?
Yeah,
what happened last
one
night?
team. Of course, the Milwaukee Bucks got eliminated last night. Milwaukee Bucks fall 94-103 to the Miami Heat, and in that game, that was, of course, Greek Freak wanted to play. It was claimed beforehand he wanted to play, but the Milwaukee front office held him back and decided for him that they could, since they had won the game without him previously, that they could get this done. And without him then, if they get it done, then that means he gets to heal for another day and a half, and he would be good enough to go to push forward. they gambled and shot snake eyes crapped out on the decision.
Well, Jimmy, he couldn't play, Jimmy. Did you see him
No,
trying
no,
to warm
no,
up?
no. He could have understand. He felt he could have gave him about 60%, and it's one of those things where psychologically, you're talking about 3 possessions, 4 possessions before it would have become visibly, evidently clear that either you could or you couldn't go. If you're going to affect us, then we tried, man. Come on out. Then that means I think the public sentiment would have been just surged for Greek Freak for this showing the gall. Which don't get it twisted.
When I saw him warming up 45 minutes before the show, before the game, Jimmy, and how he couldn't even jump, and how he couldn't even jump on his jump shot, and hell, he gonna play a basketball game. I mean, people can bash him all they want to, but if that kid could play, I think he would have played. That's just me.
Well, no. He said on his own words after the presser. He said he asked them, could he play? He wanted the players to know he wanted to play. He says the coach know he wanted to play. And he said that wasn't his call. He said they usurped his I was thinking though, my thing is this. You roll him out there. If he wanted to play that bad, and if he wanted to play that bad, I'm saying you're giving up 2 or 3 possessions in order to, that way you roll him out. You're thinking about the game. As the leg warm up and you see it's not, it's going to be ginger. But at the same time, guess what?
That's right.
They were done.
Right. You like for people to come back and play. I remember you telling me L.J. Cryer should have came back and played. And I said, Jimmy, do you know how severe his injury was?
No. It's understand.
You was talking about he was taking too long.
Understand. Coming back, the optics. Coming back and playing for an entire game, that's the coach decision.
Okay. So
coming back
hold on.
for a play,
I got a question. I want you to keep that same energy when you find out why this dude who was in the bubble didn't play at all for the Rockets last night. So keep on going. Come on.
What? We are talking about the Rockets right now.
No. I said no. I want you to keep the same energy though. But come on.
Keep the same energy about the guy with the Rockets that didn't play. We're talking about the MVP of the league, and we're talking about the defensive player of the year, and that's what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about a guy,
and he can get hurt.
No, we're not. But we're not talking about a reserve. I'm talking about doing the jump ball and going 3 to 4 possessions with him going up and down the court. It'll be visible. It will be visible.
I'm glad you're not the owner of a team, because I don't think like that.
Greek Freak at 60%. Is not better. It's not better than his backup.
Jimmy, you must not have too many ankle injuries. He hurt the other ankle the day the game before. This is the other ankle. So you just don't have no respect for the ankle injury?
I got respect for that man to say he wanted to play. That's what I'm saying. So if he wanted to play.
Let me tell you something, Jamie. I got a question. Have you ever noticed in football, when the guy get hurt, they always have somebody come and do what? Take his helmet. Of course the player want to come back in.
Guess what? So you're talking about the Rockets.
No. I just said have the same energy.
A while ago. The Rockets have their leader that was playing 40-something minutes a game when people saying, man, why play all the minutes, man? It's going to come back and bite you playing all those minutes. I want to play. So that coach couldn't stop him from playing? That coach, they could have stopped him from playing.
Evidently he ain't got the juice.
You get what the Rockets did? Hey. They let his ass play 45 minutes if he wanted to.
Hey,
it's a couple of games.
That's a horse of a different color. It's a horse of a different color.
Oh, shit.
It's a horse of a different
color. MVPs are talked amongst MVPs. We're not mixing.
Well, we talking about an MVP who grew up in Los Angeles. MVP that went to college. MVP that's been on some USA teams or whatever, been to the USA workouts. We ain't talking of this kid here. He's different. He's 25 years old. He just hasn't been. He different. That's why I just hope I just hope he listening to somebody. I don't want Milwaukee to put him in a trick bag and be forced to stay there for 5 more years. So I love the kid, and if the way I saw him warm up, unless the warm ups were fake, I wouldn't have played him either. I wouldn't have, Jimmy.
And I have the quote for him. It said the decision to not let the Greek Freak play came down to about 45 minutes before game time. Right? About 45 minutes before game time. Greek Freak says, I wanted to play. You know I wanted to play. I know I wanted to play. My coach knows I wanted to play. But at the end of the day, the organization put my health over game 5. That's big. And the way he said that's big he was not happy.
So who you mad at? You mad at the organization or him? Who you mad at? Because you get mad at any goddamn guy.
The organization.
Okay. All right.
Organization. You're gonna lose him anyway. It's the last game of the season, it's elimination season. You got time during the offseason to heal.
Jimmy, you mean losing?
It's only gonna be 3 months. It's only gonna be 3 months.
No, Jimmy. He got another year on this contract, Jimmy.
No, I'm saying you're gonna lose him anyway. They got an option to face. Either they're gonna trade him and get something for him, or you lose him flat out. And in today's NBA, you try your best to trade and get something for him. At least you have something to show. And that's with the Greek Freaks. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, they made a decision. They took a gamble, but this was a game. This was a winnable game. Milwaukee was just funky. They were just funky offensively. Think about it like this. Miami Heat had 22 turnovers. I'm sorry, 21. 21 turnovers this game. Milwaukee had 11. So that's a plus 10 in the turnover category. And you still was in control of the day. That the bench, Tyler Hero stepped up big again for them.
It's a good team, man.
I mean, no. He only had 14, but they felt like 24.
I got a question. What
did 6-6?
When Miami, that first round, see what y'all don't understand, Miami is in the getting coaches fired moments. They got Nate fired. Now they're trying to get Bud fired. And then, Miami is one of those teams that got a mixture of young players. And we talked about, you just mentioned Tyler Hero, but I'm watching every time they needed a big basket, Gordon Dragic made it. And Jimmy, they had put him in heavy trash early in the season. The young fella, the guard from Illinois, from Chicago.
Dunn.
Huh? What's his name?
You talking about on which team? You talking about Dunn?
Miami. Yeah. Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn.
Nunn. I said
Kendrick Nunn. That's all right. But I mean, I'm just watching Miami, man. They got Bam Alabama. They got, you said something, you always talk about it, and I be laughing about it because I know how important it is. But man, you say every time I look at the box score, the first thing I do is look at the bench.
Yeah.
Every time. That's most people, I mean, I don't know what everybody else do, but that's because the starters are starters. Starters are starters. And I'm watching Miami, everybody come out that bench does something. I can't say that about every team, but this Miami team, everybody come off the bench. If one don't have it, the next one pick it up. The one don't have it, the next one pick it up. So, I mean, I just think they I think they would have got beat with the Greek Freak fully healthy, Jimmy. I'm just going to tell you the truth. That's why I didn't want to risk the kids' health.
I think, but at the same time, the knockout punch, remember, last game, Miami choked it out, right?
Yeah.
In game 4.
Yeah.
So in this game, game 5, this was a winnable game. If you look at I watched the second half of that game. It was like Miami wasn't dominating.
It was winnable because the Greek Freak didn't play.
They were. I'm saying, Alan, once Miami built a comfortable 2-possession, 3-possession lead, and they just basically held serve. Because that means once you get up, and I'm a numbers guy, I look at it in the fourth quarter, if I'm up 8, 9 points, every basket I make, you got to make 2. So that means you're talking in possessions
Jimmy, that
of
don't
3.
work in the NBA.
Every basket, in your closing minutes, you're thinking about this semantics. Every basket I make, you got to make 2. That means you got to make 1 basket to tie me up and 1 basket that you needed at first to go ahead. So that means you got to make 2.
So that means you got to stop somebody, right? You got to stop somebody. The other team got to. But see, what happens is such things as stops. So you can have that formula all you love to. You can have that. That's a great formula to have. Like Michael Tyson said, everybody have a great plan till they get hit in the mouth. It's easy to, that's a great formula. You got to, I'm up 9, so you got to hit 2 to my 1. But it just don't happen like that, Doc.
No. You control that. It don't matter what the other people, if you're making a basket, it don't matter what the other team is doing. But the other
team is defending you. They gonna prevent you from making a basket.
In the second half, Milwaukee couldn't score. You remember, we're gonna get to the next. We'll talk about not being able to score in the second half in a minute. When we talk about these Rockets, they couldn't score. They scored 19 in the third quarter. They couldn't get that bucket. And I really was talking about the fourth quarter a while ago. They couldn't, and that's the thing. Then the bench came into play. So what they needed was if number 1 goes out, that means number 2 becomes number 1, which is Chris Middleton. That means number 3 becomes number 2, which is Lopez. You see what I'm saying? That means number 4 becomes number 3, which is Bledsoe. Then number 5, becomes number 4, which is Matthews. So that means, and then the kid from Villanova, he goes to start out. Actually, he did pretty good last night. He did good,
real good.
I can't remember his last name. DiVincenzo.
That's all right.
He did pretty good. 17 points, only took 9 shots. He did well being thrust into a new role in the elimination game under the brightest lights in the biggest game of the season. So he gets a, I give him an 8, him. Now, Chris Middleton, he had 23 points, but took 25 shots. That's another category you look over to when you're reading box scores.
But I'd rather him take those shots, though, Jimmy. I'd rather him take those shots.
No. But if he take 25 shots, the rule of thumb is you should have at least, however many shots you attempt, you should have at least that many points. That means you have, for us to measure a person, that don't measure the whole game. That measure their offensive productivity.
Yeah.
However many shots, he took 25 shots, he should have 25 points, at least. That's a C. He had 23 points. And so that means if he would have been on and clicking, which we saw Chris Middleton get on and clicking before, but it's a day late and $1 short for him right now. 23 points. He had 6 turnovers this game.
He had to do so much, Jimmy. He's not used to doing that much. Of course he gonna have.
But you know what? Adam? You know what? He don't get excluded from accountability because
no. But
he's an Olympian and he's an all-star.
But
so that means
Jimmy, I understand you because you're an all-star don't mean you're going to perform. What about Eric Bledsoe? A max player. Player.
You know what? I think Bledsoe is, you remember I used the old analogy about putting makeup on a pig? It started raining in that analogy.
And
I think Bledsoe right now, he's turned in this series, he turned to very, very, very average at the best as far as guards in this season. Bledsoe, remember, they let Brogdon go to Indiana to keep Bledsoe, who came over from Phoenix. They let Brogdon go. Brogdon was rookie of the year? Or co-rookie of the year, something like that, a couple of years ago? Malcolm Brogdon?
Batman?
So understand, Bledsoe had 9 points last night.
I didn't even know. I didn't even look at his score, but I knew he wasn't effective.
9 points in 36 minutes. The game before that, he had 14 points. The game before that, he had 8 points. very, very average.
That
And-
makeup that came off that pig.
Remember, what I said a while ago, your number 4 guy becomes your number 3 guy. That means much is expected. More is expected of you. It didn't happen from those guys. And what happens is we always look at it because it rolls downhill. So people like Middleton would get some of the criticism because he's the number 1 now. And that's the thing that I'm like, but bottom line is we knew it was inevitable. Just the basketball fan inside of many people would have liked to see this go 6 or go 7, or at least see Greek Freak come back.
I was tired of that series, Jim. When Greek Freak went down, I was done.
Yeah, but if they survive, he plays game 6. Because if he took all of that,
Jimmy,
if he took all that
didn't do
game
that
5,
while he was Jimmy. He didn't do. He was getting his head tore off while he was there and healthy. On 2 ginger ankles, Jim. Remember, he was getting his head tore off at full strength. So I'm just glad they done put him out of their misery. Now we're gonna see. Let's see it. And if I was him, I'll sit back and watch and see what management does. Cause no way Malcolm Brogdon shouldn't have been on that team. There's no way. And then you go pay Eric Bledsoe. Got to be out your mind. So if I was him, I'll take a look before I sign a long-term deal with them. That's just me.
Who is him? You talking about the Greek Freak?
The Greek Freak, yes.
Well, think about it, and I'm not you the expert on contracts, but I just know just common sense with him to do what LeBron did in Cleveland. You sign a 1+1.
He ain't LeBron, man. Now, slow
down. No, but he's.
Slow
I know
down.
he ain't LeBron, but guess what? He's their LeBron.
I'm gonna tell you why.
He's the red ant in their ant.
I like you using that. Why would you say do that? Why would you say sign a 1+1?
Well, based on, like I said, the LeBron, that way now you can see, because otherwise the ownership is going to, they're going to play. First, they're going to play on. They're going to play on him 3 or 4 different things. They're going to play on Greek Freak. They're going to say, Greek Freak, we've been down with you. We've supported you in your movements. We supported you when you boycotted. We supported you. We made statements. We was right here with you, man. We right here with you all the way. You our guy. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out. Who you want us to go and get? We're going to get you some more help. We know you saw you.
Jimmy, one thing I don't like about Greek Freak is not as friendly with the other guy. He ain't like LeBron. He don't hang out with nobody. He don't work out with nobody. So I don't know what he gonna say. What he gonna say?
What he gonna say? That's what they gonna say. They're gonna say doing the selling.
No. But I'm just saying, dude. Not to talk about his basketball IQ, but I'm just saying, would he know who he want on his team? I'm gonna tell you, he'll be perfect on his team right now.
Remember. He has played with we obviously played against that Olympic experience. He played against some of the top guys, right? And they bust his head in. He only finished about 12 or 14 points when USA played Greece. But secondly, the All-Star game. That's one of the biggest grounds for recruiting, from what I understand.
He don't hang with people, Jimmy.
I understand it. He had to practice with them. He had to pick them on his team. He know who he like, and he know who he don't like. That made it obvious when he shot those darts.
That's why his ass at home and that other guy still playing. He was talking about, and his ass going home. But
it's inevitable for number 13
let me
to
address something, man, because some people just don't who think they know it all but don't know what. Hell no, he's not LeBron. LeBron had a reason. LeBron had the cachet and a $500 million contract. He can afford to say, I can go 2-1. I go 2-1. Everybody can't afford to say, I'm going 2-1. Greek Freak don't have the Nike deal that LeBron has. He don't have the cachet that LeBron said. I mean, it's a great move, but when I said he's not LeBron, he's not LeBron. And he don't even think like LeBron. And the
That's-
point
that's
I
not-
would make, hold on, Jimmy. The point I'm making, it ain't had nothing to do with you. It's somebody who always running their mouth on the Facebook feed. But what I would do, Jimmy, if I was him, the reason I do the 3-1 is because
3-1.
2-1 is because that would take me into my 10th year.
Yeah.
And that I'm still super maxed. I can super max anywhere I go if I got 10 years of service. So that's one of the reasons. But guess what? I'm just sitting here saying he gonna need Jimmy. That man had Chris Paul on this team. They go, and I know if.
And guess what? You mean it? Don't you think for a minute? Understand? A lot of people's attributes yesterday, or tendencies, or patterns, or behavior normally gives you a conclusion that that's how they are. But at some point, most of us change, and this is a key pivotal point. Greek Freak he's going to have some input on whom they bring in to help him with that roster. He's going to have some input. And put it like this, I go one step further. If that coach, if Greek Freak put it down, this is a players' league. If he walked in there in their meeting and say, "Give me this coach, I'm signing. I'm re-upping with you guys."
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen tomorrow.
Yes. What you think they gonna do?
It'll happen tomorrow. He got that kind of juice now.
So that's the thing. So understand, just watch it really closely. The NBA needs Greek Freak to stay in Milwaukee.
Not really, Jimmy, not really.
Well, let me tell you why. Because Milwaukee is a sellout on the road.
Jim.
They would be the ticket. They would be the ticket. They would be the Minnesota Timberwolves ticket if he's gone.
Jim.
At least for the upcoming. Remember, the OKC Thunder. Chris Paul is gone. He's gone this year, right? I mean next season. Billy Donovan has been. They've agreed. They call it mutual. And I'm gonna tell you something, guys.
Jimmy, who is gonna take that $42 million? Who gonna take that $42 million?
From Chris Paul?
Yes, somebody got to pay that $42 million.
Somebody will take it.
Who? You find me?
Somebody will take
Who?
it. Milwaukee.
They didn't want to pay Malcolm Brogdon.
I understand that. They realize at some point everybody realized and they changed.
So what you gonna do with Eric Bledsoe? He got a big contract.
Eric Bledsoe won't be the first guy that get a max. That be on the bench, or be playing third, fourth fiddle. He's already got a demotion. He will still be starting. Bledsoe will still start. He can play the two. And Matthews will be the one that
team, he can play the two.
Huh?
On a championship team, he can play the two.
Hell, he was starting already this year. You just slide him over now.
He ain't won no championship. They keep getting the head toe off.
Yeah, but it would take more than just Chris Paul, though, Harold. Chris Paul would be a start for a guy.
I'll put Chris Paul on that team, take Eric Bledsoe off, and keep that same team, and I'll rock with that team. I would. For 1 year. Because Chris Paul ain't gonna give you.
No, I mean, but you losing. Chris Paul ain't gonna give you.
Jimmy, I want to win a championship. I'm not trying to build a dynasty.
But see, here's the thing. See, something going to give. Think about it like this. The team had the best league in the NBA for 2 straight years. Right? And guess what?
But you said that don't matter. That don't matter, dude.
About that. It don't even give a diddly about that no more. Because now, once you reach a certain plateau, the expectations change. Think of the Rockets. If the Rockets would have the best record in the league the next 2 years, or these 2 years just bad, Dan Tony would have been re-upped. He would have been re-upped. Down there, this guy only been there 2 years. They talking about get his ass up out of there.
They got Jason Kidd up out of there. And
guess what? And think about how they belittle. Something about it. White on white crime is just something else. I love how they hitting Eric Spoelstra upside the head. indirectly, just farting on him.
What they
Think about
say
it.
to Spo? What?
He let Bud let Eric Spoelstra out coach him.
No,
Eric
I
Spoelstra.
think you got it. I think you took it wrong.
That's been a couple of narratives that
I haven't seen that narrative. I haven't seen
Eric
that narrative.
supposed to out coach him if it came down to coaching.
Yes.
Is he not? Where the hell did this dude get a resume?
Jimmy, hold on, Jimmy. I'm finna help. Can I help you? Let me just help you. You know what tree Bud came from under? Just take one wild guess. Now you see why the press. Now you understand it.
That's the defense.
Yes.
And Pop right now doesn't have his magic wand anymore. It's not working. Needs some new batteries. These new AA's in his magic wand. It's going out. You got to shake it like a remote control. When the battery's going out, you got to do that on it. That's what's happening with Pop right now in San Antonio. San Antonio ain't got the boogeyman effect to it no more. San Antonio. They don't get it twisted. Truly, I firmly believe.
What they say on Twitter, Jimmy? What's their favorite thing to say on Twitter? Tim Duncan ain't walking through that door. Hey, Jimmy, we ain't going to stay on NBA. You better hurry up because the summer basketball and high school basketball is going wild around here, Jimmy. This on your watch. You the godfather, and I'm holding you accountable. I can't wait. But come on with it. Come on.
Let's go to a quick break and we come right on back.
All right, hold on. Let me find a break so you can talk about my Rockets. I want y'all to talk about my Rockets so I can get y'all back.
Next, what does that lead to? You go back to practice the next day. What will lead to change? And I really think I was talking to David Shaw, the head coach at Stanford, who really he and I had a great talk. I love listening to his wisdom and his thoughts. And he shared a quote to me and reminded me from Benjamin Franklin. He said, "Justice will be served. Justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are." And I think that's what I mean when I think the black community is hurting. If you've listened and the word empathy and compassion over these last 4 months, how do you listen to these stories and not feel pain and not want to help? You know what I mean? It's like wearing a hoodie and putting your hands at 10 and 2. Oh God, I better look out because I'm wearing Nike gear. Like what? What are we talking about? And so you can't relate to that if you're white, but you can listen and you can try to help because this is not okay. It's just not.
It's not.
And we got to do better, man. We got to like lock arm in arm and be together in a football locker room. That stuff is gone. Those barriers are gone. And we got to do better.
It's one of the things and why sports can be such a leader in this area. It's happened throughout history, dating back to Jesse Owens and Jackie Robinson and Muhammad Ali and the number of changes that have been instituted and awareness brought to because of sports. And there's a lot of good going on in college football. I know that even the Navy players have met with police departments. There is hope. But the number one thing we all have to do is make sure our hearts are tender and open.
We ready, Jim?
Welcome back to the Chop Shop Midday Sports Happy Hour, the best 120 minutes of your day. Russ grooving right along. You happen to be concerned with the U.S. Open. Serena is making her comeback after falling behind in their first set to Pironkova. She's now tied it up at one set apiece. So Serena always starting low. I wonder why she play around with these unranked girls sometimes.
I don't
Knock
like
them on
it
out.
when you talk about Serena, because I know you got a little hate in there, because you know she ain't win, she ain't won another, she ain't won this, she ain't won this.
No, I want to like she did last in the round of 16 when she TKO'd the opponent. That's what we want. We want some Mike
Jimmy,
Tyson.
she 100 years old, man. Hey, Jimmy, she 100 years old and she got a baby. You didn't see, hold up. You didn't see little baby. Hold on, man. Let me show you that little baby. Watch this.
She did well, though. I mean, she played a better match today than she has been.
Jimmy, that kind of stuff, that changed your life, that boss. When the babies. So Jimmy, let's come on. Go give me. Hey, I'm gonna be quiet and let you talk negative about my Rockets. Come on with it. Come on.
Talk
on,
negative
Cletus.
about the Rockets.
Come on, Cleveland.
The Rockets did it themselves. They did it to themselves.
Did you check your mic for me? I sent you a message, Jimmy. Did you check your mic for me? Make sure you got the right mic, because you don't sound the way you usually sound. I just want to, y'all, we just doing a little housekeeping.
Hold on one second, guy. When we get, I'm gonna switch mics.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Mics, and that way you guys can get this. We're gonna switch the mics.
Yeah.
Just hold tight. Bingo. Now, testing 1, 2, 3.
There
Here we go.
Now you're back.
I know y'all need now.
Yes.
Let's get this thing. Here we go. Last night, I watched the first half of the game. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, I watched the first half, then came home and caught the middle of the third to the end, from the restaurant, which that's the way to go. That's a good play. And first half of that game was really, really exciting. Both teams set the tone. It came out scoring. I think both teams scored 30-something in the first quarter. It was, got what you wanted. Rockets was up at the half by, I think, 2. And that third quarter, when it's time to make adjustments. And that's when it came out. And LA made some adjustments, and the Houston Rockets could not score. They stayed in park. They only produced 18 points in that third quarter. Remember last time, a while ago, I told you about the Milwaukee Bucks only scored 19 in the third quarter, but the Rockets scored 18. Then they found themselves. But however, their defense, they only yielded 21. So they was only down, I think it was a tie game going into the fourth quarter. So that means now it's 0-0.
So you saying that Lakers made an adjustment, or the Rockets were just inept?
No, everybody makes adjustments. It's just that how you're going to execute at halftime. Everybody makes adjustments. So that's a understatement. So now the thing is executing. Obviously, the Houston Rockets. Here's one thing that was uncharacteristic that I noticed, and this at the end of the game. But and I'll get to this fourth quarter in just a second. The Houston Rockets only attempted 33 pointers. The live by the 3, die by the 3 Rockets I didn't say hit. They only attempted 33 pointers. They made 12. So understand what this means to this Rockets team. They've already established, this is how we're going to beat you. This is how they beat the Lakers. They came out and Lakers would dare not stretch out their defense to defend them behind that perimeter. They dared them to come on in and drive. And so they can, Rockets.
And the Rockets was in reach of winning the game.
They were playing the Lakers game.
No.
They were right there, a winnable game. And then what happened, Hatter? That fourth quarter came. And mind you, it was a combination. It's always going to be a combination. Rondo stole the show with in that quarter. He stole the show in the quarter. However, LeBron, don't get it twisted. The whole concept of the game, LeBron James was marvelous in his 37-7-5 showing. At the same time, see, and think about it, one of the things, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. Well, first of all, let's get on Russell Westbrook. We get on Harden in just a second. Westbrook, remember I said yesterday, let's see what he does the next game. Russell Westbrook hit the first 5 points of the game. First opening possession, hit a bank shot, one of them Scottie Pippen bank shots from the left side, mid-range, about 12 feet out, 14 feet out. Then came down, hit a layup. So Russell Westbrook set the tone, hurry up and got the jitters out of him. Hit a 3-pointer. It was like, whoa, Westbrook. Then he finally missed one late on. But Westbrook did what he was supposed to do. And as far as expectations coming off of one of his worst postseason performances ever, if not the worst ever, by him. Westbrook had 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, only 3 turnovers. That's the most of any of the Rockets. But that's that's the most. But only 3 though, which is down from his 7 and a 5 the 2 games before that. So Russell Westbrook, 24 shots, 30 points, only took 4 3-point attempts, meaning he didn't fall for the okie doke. He hit one, did another heat check. He hit another one, do another heat check. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So you 2 for 4 from 3-point land. But the fourth, Eric Gordon, he didn't shine as much as he didn't show up as much as we've been used to him showing up in this series. He only finished with 10 points. Only took 9 shots. Eric Gordon didn't show up. James Harden had 33 and 9 rebounds, 9 assists. James Harden played good, but they needed great from him in the fourth quarter. You know why? James Harden, in that fourth quarter, you are the number 1. And guess what? Laker fans, y'all felt it whenever it was AD. Y'all felt it whenever it was LeBron. James Harden didn't hit a single field goal in the fourth quarter until the last minute when the game was out of reach, when it was garbage time. He hit a 3. He just threw. He did not have a field goal in the competitive nature of the fourth quarter. He had 2 free throws. They needed him to get. He's the guy that gets those other guys rolling. It was a winnable game.
He never scored points at the end. That's what you said. That's his problem. He never say. So you sound like a broke record right now. Keep going.
Performance in the losses. That's what I'm saying.
Keep going.
And that's that. That's
even
a damn.
Even in wins, he don't score them in. Jimmy, he don't score. Let me tell y'all something. And y'all got to hear me on this one. You know, Russell and Harden had 63 points. AD LeBron had 62. The Rockets bench had 8 points. The Lakers bench had 27, right? Jimmy, ain't those about right? And I'm finna agree with people, and I keep trying to tell y'all I keep telling y'all when I like a player, I like a player. I know James' shortcomings. I don't expect for James to hit points at the end. I gave y'all an analogy. He'll put y'all on his back, take all your water up the hill for you, but you gonna have to drink it and close it. He's not a closer. They didn't name that movie, that sitcom Closer after James. I understand that. Because I sit there and that's what I need somebody else. Didn't I tell you the other day, I said, where is my number 2? Where is our number 2? Where is our number 2? 3.
Number 2 showed up yesterday. He showed up last night.
Jimmy, some of those points, see, I look at James. If we go and just look at let's say a guy just look at this and look at James got 33 points. But James, as you said, shot 3, ladies and gentlemen, meaningful shots in the fourth quarter. Some guys are just not built for this, y'all. I'm telling you, I told y'all. Chris Paul said it. LeBron just said it again. Hold on. I want y'all to listen to this. Hold on.
How many opportunities we're going to get at this level? Some people are built for this moment, and some people are not. And I just think that when you've been in the process and you've been building your mind and your body and your soul for the postseason, no matter the circumstances, no matter the environment, then you're able to rise.
Just because he get paid. No, you don't get paid to be a closer. Greek Freak don't close. Hey, Rick Sahada, he's being paid to be a closer. Hell no, he's paid to be what he is. He ain't paid to be no closer because he's never been a closer. So they didn't pay him to be a closer. You want him to be a closer. Jimmy, he just get passive in the end. I'm watching him. I cannot defend that. And that's what y'all got to understand about me. He gets passive. Me, I would step on the gas. But he says, man, I done gave y'all 33. It's time for y'all. Let me tell y'all something. It's about the moments, man. not the points. I'd say 33 wasn't enough for James. 33 was not enough for James. I'll admit that. But he thinking, it seemed like he's saying, hey, man, I done scored 33. Can you make a layup? Then you got an old man. And listen to me, y'all. And I said it. I love the way, if y'all listen to me and quit whining all the time, I said, I love the way he scored the ball. I know how hard it is to score. He's not dependable like LeBron James. See, what we have recency bias. And I hope y'all go and get this videotape and tape it. And I just said, he just not, I don't, that's why I can't come in here and give, how in the hell I'm gonna be mad about what a dude doing that I know he can't do? Not a closer. He don't hit last seconds. What I said the other day, Jimmy, I said, he's not Dame Lillard. He's not Kobe. He not. He's just a guy, a great offensive basketball player, then turned himself into a pretty good defensive player, a great anticipator of the ball and gets steals and deflections. But y'all, we have to get him. If we expect to win here, somebody else got to make he can take it to the water, but he can't drink it for you, y'all. See, Kobe can take it to the water, drink your water. Damon, what his name? Dame can go drink your water. You got to remember, LeBron, not as bad as James, but he used to be like that. And I'm gonna talk about it because maybe we forget. Jamie, I wrote some things down. In the final, LeBron lost 6 times in 9 appearances. 6 times. Twice he's been swept. Twice he's been the gentleman's sweep. And in 2011, he suffered an all-time superstar meltdown. So guess what? He is making history. He's been to more playoffs games than anybody in the world. If I done been to 1,000 playoff games, yes, I'm going to win more than everybody else. But coaches always tell me, Robert, the best ability is availability. And LeBron James been available. It's a longevity achievement to me with him. Some people just born with some luck. Some people get injured all the time. Who would have thought the Greek freak would have got injured? But y'all gonna tear his head off. Oh, yeah. Y'all let him have it, but y'all gonna tear him off. So I'm admitting James Harden is not a closer. So don't ever think that. But guess what? What if he had just a person who don't hit nothing in the first 3 quarters and come in and help him in the end? Because, hey, that's what Jimmy, if I was on this team, get what I said. Hey, Big Money, you know that's what they call him, Money. That's his nickname, Money. Hey, Money, I got you. Go on over there, Money. I got you. That's all I'm saying. I mean, and that's all I'm saying. So I hope y'all understand that's how I feel about the Rockets and James Harden. But, Jimmy, I'm not going to let you off the hook. We got to get into this. You can go and have your rebuttal, but we got to get into some summer basketball, high school basketball, because these damn folks done lost their rabbit mind around here. But keep going.
Yeah, and we are on the back nine, and of course we got about another minute and address some of you guys' comments in the Boom Boom Room on the YouTube feed as well as the Facebook feed. Guys, won't you share the show right now? You take out the time to share the show to your timelines, to your friends, to your hoop groups. Just share the Chop Shop, and if you'd be so kind to do so. Also, if you're on the Facebook feed, when you get off, go over to our YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube page. That way, if there's ever a day where there's audio difficulties or technical difficulties on Facebook, we'll still you don't miss a beat. You slide right over to YouTube. Keep going. Shout out to Chuck McCown, Rick Timms, Martin Vaughn, and Kim Jackson, Dr. Newsom over there on the YouTube feed. And so Rick says if Harden played with PJ Tucker's drive and relentlessness, win or lose, I'd hush my mouth.
If my auntie had a scrotum, she'll be my uncle. How about that, Rick? If my auntie had some scrotum, she'll be my uncle. Now keep going. Next question, please.
Well, the thing is, and that goes to Coach Armont and his comment, and he asked the question. He says, "Well, why should Harden be considered an MVP candidate if he's not what you say he's not?"
Well, I didn't vote for him, Jock Armont. He talking about, well, why don't he sit down in the fourth quarter? Because, hold up, he's talented enough to draw 3 people over there, and you be over there by yourself in the corner, Jock Armont, by your damn self and can't hit a shot. That's why he's out on the damn floor. Go on, Jimmy.
The Lakers wasn't triple teaming him in the fourth quarter last night, but however, in defense,
Jimmy, they doubled him and had a man sitting in the hole. That's occupying 3 people, Jimmy. So them guys got wide open shots every time. So you going on with that.
What it looked at like, if you watched Harden, it looked at like, once again, like just like old times when Westbrook would bring the ball up and Harden, he would go to the opposite side, obviously, and ignite the offense. Then Harden would come up, but then Harden, it seemed like on not every possession, but there were a couple of when it looked like he went into nonchalantness. And
I just said he was passive in the fourth quarter, Jimmy. What?
That was the game. The game was made or broken during that 10. Understand? It was one span. James Harden was actually on the bench when the 10-0 run transpired. Rondo went off and hit 2 threes in that span. It went on a 10-0 run. Westbrook hit a 3 early in the fourth quarter, and Rondo hit 2 threes. Then I think then LeBron
hey Jimmy.
He had 2 threes in a layup. He had 8 straight points by himself.
Jimmy, that's great defense. If you got Jimmy's great defense, if you got a 31% 3-point shooter for a career, Rondo, who's not known to hit a 3, and he's hit, that he won the game. Jimmy, that's good defense if you got. I'd rather have Rondo shooting that shot than LeBron and that big fella, that big monster down there. I mean, he just made a shot. What if our guys had made a shot? What if our guys had made a shot?
Rondo's 3-point accuracy is far greater than Anthony Davis's 3-point accuracy in the fourth quarter. So that's not true.
I said for career. I know you don't listen to me. I said he's a career.
We talking about career. We're not talking about career. We talking about careers. Then
Jimmy, that's how you propose. That's how you devise your scouting report. Leave him alone. Excuse me. The first game. Whoa. I'm not gonna let you. I know you don't know what you're talking about.
The scouting reports are broke down on every player based on at different intervals of the game. They know what some guys are going to do in crunch time.
Guess what they said every time Rondo was getting the ball? Guess what they were saying? Guess what they were shouting every time Rondo got the ball? The Rockets.
Let him shoot at first.
He with us.
Yeah.
So
guess what the Lakers were saying every time Westbrook got the ball behind 3-point line? The same chant. He with us. I mean, it goes, but so there's a reason. But at the same time, guess what? Westbrook and Rondo defied the scout last night on the perimeter. Neither team prepared for both of those guys to hit 50% or behind the lane.
So you telling me you expected 21 points and all of this? You expected that from Rondo? Hell no. Nobody respect that from Rondo.
Every game that a team wins, there's going to be one player that's going to step up that don't normally step up to that magnitude. Pretty much every single win. Every win. That happens. That's why the bench is so important. That's the first place I look at it. I look at the bench upward in the shot chart. I mean in the score in the box score. That's why it's so very important. And once again, for the second straight game, guys, the second straight game, I'm gonna tell you something that you probably won't see. You probably won't see this in the next 10 years in NBA basketball. What happened last night? 2 playoff games in a row. Only 1 player scored off the bench. I'm good with no. Watch this. Pay attention. You let me know the next time you see it happen in the NBA basketball. 2 games in a row. Only 1 player scored.
You talking about one team? You talking about one team?
One team, the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
The same team. I've never seen that happen in my life.
Hey, Jimmy, excuse me, Jimmy. You know what? Do me a favor, Ken Howell and whoever just joined in on the show. I just said Harden was passive. Go back and look at the show again. And I said with a 5-minute soliloquy talking about what Harden not doing in the fourth quarter. I just said that, sir. So I said, hold on, Ken Howell, get what I said. James Harden shot 3 meaningful shots in the fourth quarter. Some guys are not built for that. I said that, okay? Then I came back and said, he gets passive. I got it in my notes, Ken Howell. I know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm just trying to get y'all to understand. Don't come in on the tail end of the conversation and then you want to make a comment. I've said all of that. And Jimmy still want to say, so James ain't that good. But guess what? I still like it.
We're past the Harden thing. I'm just as a team. Okay. I'm think another thing that you guys that want to add to an ingredient to this gumbo of the Houston Rockets last night is the Rockets did very well protecting the basketball for 3 quarters. Very well. And that was one of the things that I had pointed out yesterday about the turnovers would have to be cut down drastically. And they did. They only had 5 turnovers going into the fourth quarter. And guess what happened at the beginning of the fourth quarter? They only had 5 turnovers at the beginning of the fourth quarter. They committed 5 turnovers, the Rockets, in the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. So they matched that. And during that time, remember, James Harden goes out the game around the 4-minute mark of the third quarter, comes back in around the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter and run it on down. That's normally the regular rotation for some team starters. However, some teams have tweaked their lineup, and some guys may go in the down, especially in the second half, and tweaks it a little bit. Which during that run, and once again, it's when when Harden was sitting down, it's when the Lakers went on a 10-0 run. So, when Harden came back in the game, remember I mentioned earlier about once you in the fourth quarter and you up by 10. It's every bucket you make, they got to make 2. Or unless they shooting threes. Every 2 you got to make, they got to make 2.
All I'm saying is, you said it. I'm glad you said it. The Rockets got the worst bench in playoff history. It's going to be hard for you to find.
I can't go that far with it yet.
So what was your quote? You'd be hard to find.
But it's one of.
Do what?
It's one of.
Huh?
It's one of. It's not, may not be D, but it's definitely one of the worst.
So guess what? The Rockets got the worst bench in the league now. You just said that.
No. You change it up. I say in playoff history, the worst performing.
Okay, excuse
me. That's the word you got to
in playoff history, they got the worst.
One of D, not the very worst. We don't know if it's the worst yet. We don't have the facts to substantiate that, but they're one of D. Without question. Performance.
And still in the game, playing against 2 transitional talents on the other team. LeBron James, arguably the best player ever, and Anthony Davis, a guy that used to be a guard, was 6'3", and then he grew 7 inches and not almost 7 foot and can do. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Y'all can slice and dice and D'Antoni and James Harden all you want. You just said something that's key. You got guys, Austin Rivers, Ben McLemore. I know you didn't get many shots, But dude, you got to hit the ones you get. At least one, half of them. You don't score a point? Come on, man. This is a team game. But hey, NBA, I'm good. Well, we got games tonight. We got the Clippers again tonight against Denver. We're gonna see how that works out. But Jimmy, I don't know where to start. This summer basketball, man, these folks have lost their minds. I got some in the mailbag. I had to just get a summer bag. I'm trying to see which one I want to go through first. Somebody texted me yesterday, right? Jim, I'll let you address it. This is your expertise. Somebody said, I wrote the notes down. Jimmy, I'm trying to find out. They gave me a couple of notes to ask you about. First of all, explain the JL3 and the and such a prominent program like Hard Work. I heard, and I'm not sure, they said even Loopy was on the advisory committee or something with Under Armour. I'm not sure. I don't know. But explain to me and us in your expertise why did they make that union? Is it because of the other union that was announced on our show a couple of weeks ago? I know you know. I know you're sniggling, and you can say whatever you want to say. But
what other union?
Between Pro Skills and the guy from Austin that guy that came off the show that made an announcement on the show, right? He made an announcement. Pro Skills.
No, that's not the same. It's a merger or the collaboration, I would call it, is that's not necessarily a merger of programs. They are because
neither one of them. Neither one
Texas
of them.
Hard Work.
Okay.
Texas Hard Work is deceasing operations, so that's the end of the road for Texas Hard Work. Meaning that they're not a merger, meaning you're bringing all your teams over and bringing them. Then we got to figure it out.
So what you call it? What you call it? If it's not a merger,
I call it a new step forward. You can a collaboration of such. I can call it. I think that's a more appropriate word. Collaborating. You're collaborating. The one of the administrators with Texas Hard Work collaborating with the JL3, and these conversations had been going on for a couple of months. And you have to realize, and I don't want to go too far out with it, because on Thursday, Lupe Nunez will be live on the Chop Shop to tell you guys exactly his reasons for why he did it. So I don't have to go there and speak. I just paraphrase in a nutshell. Bottom line is,
you can't speak for him. I'm just saying your opinion.
I can speak for
JL3. Don't you have
JL3.
some words to say about it?
I'm speaking from JL3 because I spoke with John Lucas. So that's what I'm trying to explain for you. Interrupting me.
You can speak
I say I can't speak for him. He will come.
I didn't ask you to speak for him. I asked you about the two situations.
You say why did they do the merger? And I just clarified that it without a merger. If you're shutting down your shop and then you're moving on and joining something else, that's not a merger. It's not a merger. You're on to new things. You're doing something different. Looping, and you guys will see tomorrow. So now on the other side of the fence, it's for the JL3 side of the fence that I can speak on, because John Lucas, they're doing workouts right now and in team meetings right now. He can't speak for himself, but I spoke with him about that a couple of times. And so the move is, number one, it gives JL3 a person with Lupe Nunez. He's bringing over at least two of the players that played this past season. Both are nationally ranked. So it gives JL3 an inside presence in the front court, a shot blocker, and Big Vince. Vince is a kid that went to San Antonio Cold who's just transferred over to La Lumiere. Well, if you think about it, every single sneaker-sponsored team in greater Houston area this year had a person from out of town in their front court. I say it again. Every single team in Houston, even the ones that didn't play, even the ones that on paper before the pandemic transpired, everybody had an out of town guy in their front court, which means that wasn't the cupboard was bare in the air in Greater Houston for us front court guys. It's smart. So you get one of the best rim protectors in the state, in the country. You get a guy that's ranked in the top 50, top 40 in the country. You get Austin Nunez, who's ranked in the country already, has numerous legitimate committable offers on the table from Power 5 schools. You get Lupe, who has the relationships and the economic means to actively recruit the players outside of the Houston area. More than not to say that they hadn't been doing already, because they have players from Duncanville and from Louisiana and from Austin area, ASAC area already within the Houston within that program, JL3. So what they're doing, this is the perfect merger, because here's the thing.
It's not a merger.
Well, not a merger, perfect collaboration.
But Jimmy, you're right. It is a merger, because all a merger is a combination of things. That's all the merger is. So it's technically it's a merger.
Guess what? Yeah. For the sake of that, let's fucking call it a merger then. That's what you want to do. It don't matter.
Okay.
You know what the hell it means? All of it, tomato, spaghetti, shrimp or shrimps, whatever the hell you want to call it.
I was okay with it. You the one said it's not a merger. It's not a merger.
No,
it's a collab.
For the same sake for which you compared ASAC and Pro Skills, that's a whole team that's going up under that umbrella. And what he didn't tell us, that's his 15 and under team is going to play up under Pro Skills. He's not taking his kids and they're going to pop with the 17s like that. That ain't happening.
But it was a combination of two things. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So keep going.
That's
all.
That's like when Clyde Jackson took his Gulf Coast Blue Chips and joined the Houston Hoops. He took teams.
I got a question, Jimmy. Okay, let's go there. Okay, that ain't because since I asked the question, that ain't where I was going. Great question. If JL3, it's called JL3 or JL5? What is it called?
3.
JL3 is getting the EYBL 17 under. What happens to the Houston Hoops?
What you mean what happens to Houston Hoops is business as usual.
Okay.
Business as usual.
Okay.
Business as usual. And like I said, and understand this right now on paper, the JL3 16s, which were the 15s last year, made it to Peach Jam. That's the team that Richard Law coached. That team on paper would have been pretty good with Terrence Arsenault leading the way. The kid that you saw in the film, he's in that uniform with them. So Arsenault come back, right? Abrams, another kid who just transferred from Port Arthur Memorial to Summer Creek, he's in that uniform. Well, under that umbrella, based on the projected rosters from this past season, even though that team did not play at all due to the COVID-19. So you think about you bringing those guys back. Then you got Nunez, you got Big Vince, you got possibly maybe Chris Marshall. He was on that roster as well. That team looks sexy enough now because we know it's a big difference. We don't know how the team would have even fared on 16U this year in the EYBL or in the EYB. I'm sorry, but now it's translatable because we all know 15s and 16s are a big ass jump. But from 16s to 17s on the sneaker circuit, I can't even describe it. It's a hell of a jump for its talent. So you got to have a rim protector. And they got one, a legitimate nationally respected threat. So that's the thing I look at, and now it gives them a force because now Lupe becomes that recruiter, Hatter. He becomes the guy that's beating the streets now.
A very valuable guy who came down here and got two of our top guys and took them up there with him.
Yeah, Ramon Walker had Sean Jones playing with him, and that's another thing. Sean Jones plays with them. So I just mentioned Terrence Arsenault, Amari Abrams, Sean Jones, possibly and Chris Marshall. Then you mix those other two guys. That's nice. And that ain't all. You already know. When you make that type of announcement, you can only imagine the phone calls that may be coming from another different angle or somebody ready to join forces, because they're definitely in talks with a couple of others to make. I'm talking about that'll send ripples through the whole region if they go and decide to do so and push forward. So with this program. So the thing is now, once again, that's from the JL3 side. Tomorrow, if you missed it, Lupe Nunez will be on the Chop Shop Thursday to express his take. Because a lot of people were wondering, that's the question you guys asked, will let Lupe answer that. Why would you leave an Under Armour deal on the table, right? And not just an Under Armour deal. His deal in his contract has a package for a high school team, for a high school team as well. A high school team that he can go and outfit. Also, he's one of the, I don't know the right word, but he's an administrator in the grassroots on the Under Armour this year. But we'll let Lupe give from Lupe's side.
All right.
Tomorrow.
So explain to me this here going on. Okay. I saw somebody's tweet. Clyde Jackson tweeted, "Hey man, the real 2003. This is how rankings should look based on real evaluation. I have seen every last one of these kids play. Keep up the good work, young men." Something has happened. Somebody that came out with some rankings or something that's happened. Y'all got to understand, I'm blessed enough that I don't have to look at the rankings. I ain't got no kid. And the kid that I know where he going to be ranked, so I ain't got to look at the rest of it. So something happened over the last 3 days. Then he said the list. Then, hold up, Clyde, I wish you had him on the show. I wish he'd call in. Clyde came again, said, "I am officially starting my scouting service today." In other words, I don't like what this guy was writing. And guess what he said? "I am looking for retired college coaches, high school coaches in the Houston area. This is a paid job. Real talk. Contact me if you interested." Hey man, I don't know. Jimmy, that's why I'm throwing this out to you, and I'm throwing this out to the Boom Boom Room. Herbert D, you've been around a long time. I've never heard this. In my little time in grassroots basketball, I have not heard this. That a guy over a program come public and said, "Dude, you don't know what the hell you talking about. I'm finna start my own scouting service." Jimmy, you can interject any way you want to. Hold on. I think I got it. Hold on. Then, my homeboy, the guy who was, he done clean his tweets up a little bit, who was talking bad about people on the tweets. He came back. Hey, man. Hey. Mr. Line, his handle is Line Ass Scouts. Mr. Line Ass Scouts, do me a favor, man. Hey, man, I promise you, I ain't gonna tell nobody, man. Email me, man, chopshophtx@gmail.com, man. When you go with personal attacks against guys that I know and care about, I had to say something. But now you come, let me show you what you're coming with. Jimmy, I'm just going to show you what's going on under your watch. You the godfather of high school basketball. This under your watch. This under your watch. So you got to get this straight. Hold on. He said, "This don't look too biased to me." Guess he talking to Clyde. set the example. But at the same time, can all the kids get pumped up? Somehow Dallas, Phoenix, New Orleans, and OKC, and other cities do it. Why can't Houston?
Say that again now.
Jimmy, hold on, Jimmy. Hold on. Hey, line ass scouts, you're about to give yourself away. Because let me show you what you say.
Read it again.
Jimmy, I know Jimmy asked me this for a reason, line ass scout. He said, this doesn't look too biased to me. I guess the rankings. Because I think he's replying to Clyde. He said, it don't look too biased to him. And said, hey, if you want to set the example. But at the same time, can all the kids get pumped up? Can you pump up? Hell no, you can't pump up. I can help you with that. All the kids can't pump up. Listen, this from Robert Hatter, who loves all the kids like Martin. All of them can't get pumped up. Because all of them are not going to be college basketball players. Let's get that straight. So all of them, okay, but I guess you can pump them up. Jimmy, he said, somehow, hold up. They said, somehow Dallas, Phoenix pumped all the guys up. New Orleans pump all the guys up. OKC pumps all the guys up. And other cities pump all the guys up. Why can't Houston? Line ass scout, I don't know if this is true. Because I know people in Dallas, they ain't pumping every damn kid up. I know kids in Phoenix. I'm going to help out. Jimmy, you can just hold off a minute. You can just interject whenever you want to. Phoenix, they ain't pumping everybody up. New Orleans definitely ain't pumping everybody up. OKC, they're not pumping everybody up. My partner live up there. So, I don't know where you're getting your information from, line ass scout, but that one ain't good, okay? Okay, then hold up. Then he said, Clyde. So Clyde said, please, nobody get offended, but this political stuff has to stop in the city of Houston grassroots basketball. I'm starting to question all of them. So that's when the guy came back and replied to Clyde. Y'all got to follow me because some of these tweets now I'm trying to decipher. He said, Mr. Jackson, I can't argue. I can't agree more. The funny thing about this is one of the main folks doing this ish you are talking about, like the tweet. I don't know. Then he mentioned somebody's name that I'm not going to mention. Y'all go. It's called Line Ass Scouts. If you want to go to Twitter, I'm not going to mention nobody's name. They said this guy's contributing to this book, SHIT. Houston has a negative reputation nationwide in regards to grassroots, the money-hungry adults. Jimmy, I'm going to let you, I'm sweating over here because I know I can feel your spirit over there. Like, Jimmy, why Houston? Why these people pick on Houston? Because they live here? Because they couldn't live in all these other places at the same damn time, number one. That's 6 cities that he mentioned. He can't live in all them cities, so he don't know all the damn parents. So explain to me what's going on where a guy can say, Line Ass Scout, I ain't mad at you. I'm glad you brought this up. But explain to me where he said Houston has a negative reputation nationwide in regards to grassroots. The money-hungry ass adults. Help me out. Help me out. I'm just trying to, Jimmy, they printed this stuff, Jimmy. Didn't you tell me a long time ago, hey, if you know how people talk about, don't be putting my business out there. And Jimmy, I'm on season 4, episode 12 of y'all's bull crap. And I'm getting to be tired of it right now. So Jimmy, help me, man. If you can remember anything I said. I'm sorry it took so long. But dude, these folks are going mad. I never seen it. I know you want to look at the Twitter. Look at the thing. Tell me what the hell's going on, Godfather.
I mean,
Gatekeeper.
first and foremost, when you for those that live in Houston, around the Greater Houston area, you guys know that I've uh, I've stood down for some time and watched to see. Remember, I told you guys, I gave an analogy a few months ago. I said, I gave the analogy that I gave you guys. Some of you may remember. I said, it's called a rope a dope. I'm just letting them go, just push themselves on out. And watch, and I'm watching how you guys, a lot of people, they felt gullible and help perpetuate a movement that was designed to move me out the way. So as you support the movement, you didn't really know what you was getting yourselves into. Didn't really know. It's kind of like going and you supporting the candidate for president and didn't really know.
Jimmy, can I put you just hold up. You didn't really know. So you mean all of this bull crap is because of the people that's trying to upseat you?
That's where it started. Remember, if you go back to the nucleus.
Okay.
Every person's action, and when it comes to the word rankings.
Okay.
You won't be able to complete the sentence without indirectly thinking about RCS Sports or Jim Hicks. Think about that. This is about how far that whole conversation. We know who it was geared toward. We know it wasn't talking about RCS Sports, but he made the mistake of saying y'all, or making it plural. Clyde did. That's the only error he made it plural in an attempt to keep it like he wasn't talking about one person. But then you went back and you gave your cover. You gave your cover away in his messages. So Clyde called me yesterday. I didn't know this was going on, and this must have been before. Clyde called me yesterday. I said, man, that's the person's opinion. Why are you getting woke up over some 10th graders right now? That was my reply. Man, go sit down somewhere, drink you one. These are 10th graders. And I gave him the famous John Lucas quote: would you rather be the best 10th grader or the best 12th grader? So I asked some of you sometime, would you rather be the best 10th grader or would you rather be the best 12th grader? So some people, everybody can't handle, and that's seriousness. We watch LeBron said, we watch Chris Paul. Everybody not built for what? This. Just be sure for the moment that you're building them up for, that they can live up to it. It's going to come. If you know a kid that's ranked higher and you're probably not sold or not convinced or haven't bought in to, and don't think that he's probably going to be able to do, trust me, all eyes are on you once you become in anybody's top 10 or top 20 nationally. Trust me, all eyes are on you. So if that be the case, the thing is, you just, in time, it's going to tell. And the way that you do it, though, the thing is, if a guy is already ranked in the top 15 in the country, it's a way to elevate the next guy without pulling that one down. We don't have to do the credit.
Could you repeat that again, sir? I mean, because it's some people on here, on this face, and listening to us, Jimmy. And Jimmy, yes, I did confirm. It's people watching this show, and we don't even know they're watching this damn show. Because you're right, I confirmed it. Jimmy, it's some people out there think like that. They just can't help it. They gonna talk negative about this kid, no matter who. But they gonna come on here, man. I talk about all the kids. They lying. They lying. So you can say that one more time, man. I just had to, because that, I don't think you can stop it, because just like it's hard to stop a drug addict, if that's who they are, Jimmy, that's just who they are. They might not mean to talk about your son, but they're going to talk about it. But keep going. I'm sorry. I just wanted
and so, you know, the thing is, I don't have a problem. My thing is, if it's like anything, it's just so funny. If this was if this was two restaurants, and one restaurant messed up your food, what you gonna do? What are you probably more prone to do if you was actively on social media and actively gave your Yelp or whatever on restaurants? If one restaurant messed up your food, another restaurant you have been going that's been your favorite barbecue shack, and they build another one across town, and they saying they going at your other barbecue shack, but then you go to that barbecue shack and they mess up your food. What are you probably gonna do? You probably gonna tell everybody you know that you don't like, that the sauce nasty, that the meat wasn't, the potato salad wasn't felt tastes like it was store bought. You're gonna tell your experience. Now the thing is, a lot of people, you have choices and you have consequences. For the money department, the accusation about the money hungry grown-ups. Well, nowadays that's a blanket that goes around the whole horn, because as opposed to yesteryear, event operators have always been out there. You wasn't calling, but however, the dynamics has turned to where there's more black event operators in Houston than there are white. It was not always that in the city. When I first started, it was more white event operators that were about the mass events. That has changed. So the same energy wasn't applied when the white event operators, when you see Prime Time doing tournaments every week, or now the new owners of the Kingwood, they're doing tournaments. So and they're doing tournaments every other weekend. They got the damn Luetta complex booked up for a whole year damn near in advance. But they're not money hungry. But reportedly, according to the rumors, the Hal Paston got bought out for somewhere around $1 million plus. Hell, twice.
But y'all, did they call him a money hungry adult?
But that's what I'm saying. So the energy ain't the same.
Did they call him money hungry?
No. That's what I'm saying. The energy ain't the same. It ain't the same. He wasn't called that. So the thing is, you have an option on what you support and whom you support. The thing is, if you're supporting it and you're expecting, that's the thing, and you're expecting certain favor, then that's a whole different issue. Why are you expecting favor? Now, are there accusations? Are there people getting favors? We've already talked about that. Hell, if people selling tweets, then you know damn well they'll sell a ranking.
Hold up, Jimmy, the dude addressed you. The dude said, hold up, he said, he got receipts for you.
No, not for me. He may have receipts for somebody else.
No. He got receipts to show you that this stuff is happening, not from you.
Okay, if it's say, because I know
I've already. No. He got receipts for you. You know I got it. He said RCS Sports. He tagged you.
I didn't. I swear
I know you didn't. Hey, I got you, man. Hey, somebody crunked me up and sent me one text, and I went crazy. I copied it.
So what did it say? What the one say with me in it?
I'm finna find it for you. Hold on.
This goes to show you. I keep telling you guys, I'm not actively on Twitter and Facebook as much as you guys may think or want. I'm not, because that stuff.
I know. Hold up, Jimmy. Guess what? And the person who sent me this information and allowed me to go research it, you know who you are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It said, if you don't like what I say or the truth. Now, hold up. Let me stop. Lion Ass Scout, me and you cool, all right? When you stop talking about my dude personally, I'm good. But you got to do one thing for me now, and then me and you we're gonna be all right. Do me a favor and put somebody else's likeness on your page. That's not fair, and that's not right. You know, because, you know, we got some brilliant young people that work for me. They can find who you are if I really want to. But I'm not going to go there, because they said he had to have an email address. He had to do this to get that account. I can find him. Lioness Scout, it's all right, but do me a favor. Just do me a favor. Take my man's likeness off. So now, back to his quote, Jimmy.
Who likes?
He got Doug's likeness on his profile page. Like
Doug Jones?
Yes. Yeah, that's out of pocket. I mean, Jimmy, hold on. I didn't realize it until my man sent me back to the page. You remember I looked at it a long time ago? I haven't looked at Lioness Scout. I didn't look at you until somebody sent it to me yesterday. So let me tell you something, and you might be valid, and you sound like a parent or a cousin or a friend that was scorned. Something happened here. And me, Robert Hatter, want to help you through this thing, man. I'm serious. I figured you've been hurt, okay? You've been hurt by this summer basketball. But guess what? I'm on this show every day for 4 years almost now, trying to correct some of these things. So take my man's likeness off your thing, please. Okay? All right. Now, Jimmy, he said, if you don't, it could be a she now, Jimmy. I'm just saying he. It said, if you don't like what I say or the truth, stop spreading lies and clean up your act. RCS Sports, I got proof of payment. Pay attention. Use your thing. Pay attention. And then he added, let me show you the people who he added. He added Marcus Sloan, Doug Jones, Exposure or OTR, Defenders, the Raptors, the Hornets, the Top Guns, PJ Kuznar, and JRB Events. Yeah, Jimmy, so now I didn't read this one as good last night. Lioness Scout, finna help you out a little bit more. If you got something against my host, let me tell you something. All his friends might not be my friends, but all his enemies mine. I'm just telling you that right now. So let's hold on, because I know, I ain't saying he perfect, but I know the stuff that he's trying to do and the stuff that he's been doing, it's been helping people. It might not help everybody. But when these people that spend years building their reputation up, and you come behind an anonymous thing that ain't got too many followers, and the people who sent me this, guess what? When I get off the phone, I'm going to ask me, why y'all following this guy? Now, if you have some legitimate gripes, you email me. I'll make sure you have Jimmy's number. I'll make sure you have Doug's number. I'll make sure you have Sloan's number. And you can call these guys, man, or woman. We shouldn't be doing this, man. We got a damn election. Use this energy to get somebody to vote, sir or ma'am. Because you ain't hurting him. Jimmy, we going to get off this show, he going to laugh about it. I'm just telling you. He going to laugh about it. But you mentioning these guys' names, man, and you went, that's why, Jimmy, that's why I stopped the show and I said, what the hell is going on in this community, man? And I understand you, Sloan. Sloan said, I don't talk to ghosts. And I understand it, man. This Kevin Durant shit, what's the boy, Brian Colangelo, lost a GM job, line ass scout. Google it, from having a burner account. And then, hold up, had it connected to his wife's email. Dude, if we really want to find out who you are, dude, I got to make one phone call. But it ain't that important. We got stuff to do, man. No matter how you don't like these guys helping kids get in college. They ain't perfect. I don't like some of the shit they do. But guess what I'm grown man enough to do? I tell them right here on this show. Or when I see them. So you welcome, Lion and Scout. I invite you to email me, and if you want to come and voice your opinions on the Chop Shop, I got you. I ain't mad at you. But when you're talking about people in my circle, man, come on, man. Come on. All we do on this show is help people. This man takes 2 hours a day out of his life to bring college coaches and people around the world. Y'all don't know what goes on behind the scene when we trying to book guests for this show. Come on, man. We just got to do better, y'all. I'm sorry. And I ain't saying nobody perfect. I ain't say he was perfect. I ain't said Doug was perfect. I ain't saying nobody perfect. That's kind of weak. Jimmy, I got to give me some more water, man. I got to go in there and give me some more water. I done dropped the whole bottle of water. I'll be back.
Yeah, guys. It's one of the things I guess I can give you if you're involved with the grassroots basketball community or the high school basketball community, and you guys can understand things. And that's why I started in 2020 using the hashtag pay attention, because there's so many things that people will see and not be able to connect dots to. And I try to get you guys just pay attention to different stuff. Pay attention. If you're paying attention, that way I don't want to sway you to how to tell you how to think. If you're paying attention, you have the capacity to think on your own. And here's what I've got from the why. Because the why is, I see a lot of people say, well, why doesn't this person, why are they hiding? Well, there's two reasons. Of course, I mean, that's some coward shit. I mean, but at the same time, on the forefront, the person is afraid and has to be a parent. Mm-hmm. So that's obvious. That's beyond. In case you didn't know, it's a parent, meaning that person has a son, not a daughter, a son who's actively playing in Greater Houston, because otherwise that's the city that's targeted. You're not wasting time if you're living in Austin talking about what's going on in Houston. You want all of the people to tag successfully, or most of the people to tag involving in your tweets. So you live in Houston. You have a son. So what came back to me is I had no desire, wasn't no concern who it was, because I know how I am. If I was wanted to find out and I did find out, then, I might implement a 5-month plan or a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. You guys know that's how I strike. I don't strike 5 days. I strike in 5 years. I'm that guy that come up to you and put something in your throat and then upside your head, and then you wonder why I'm doing it. You think your limitation doesn't expire, but it ain't. So that's how I strike back. So in case you didn't know, that's how I strike. I tell you that. Now, what I've had somebody who have made indirect contact with the person, with the account. So you follow me? And that person to find out the why. And the person says, basically, is in a nutshell, it's a fear of retaliation or blackballing if they would have come out who they were. So let me tell you something, guys. I guess the road stops at a certain point with me as far as not understanding how it feel. But if I had a biological kid and this stuff was driving me to the point where I had to go and waste all that time, I'm not caring about what you possibly can do to blackball or in your mindset, the fear of the unknown, using the word blackball. I'm talking about blackballing. Hell, name me one kid in Houston that's ever been blackballed from a Division I scholarship. I want you guys, and I'm asking for a friend. Again, my friend from y'all, I'm asking for a friend. Tell me, I want you guys a homework assignment. I want you to go and think of any kid you can that's been blackballed by a person of power, or a person who does the rankings from a Division I scholarship. Tell you something. If that kid is good enough, that coach ain't giving a damn about the guy that ranked him. If he's good enough for the scholarship, he gonna ask his intel. But that guy, I'm gonna tell you how this stuff by experience. That guy who does the rankings, it's gonna feel like you got fingerprints on it. But that college coach just picking your brain just to see where you stand on the kid. If he's gonna offer him, he's already made up his mind. Listen. If a parent believes and subscribes to that theory that your son can be blackballed from Division I scholarships or from that recruitment, that's the first layer of the goal. If you subscribe to that, then chances are it's a 90% plus chance that your kid ain't a Division I prospect. He ain't. You know it.
Say that one more time, Jimmy.
If a parent out there subscribe to the theory that their son or daughter can be blackballed from Division I recruitment by any particular individual in Houston, Texas, or any other city for that matter, in amateur sports, chances are 90% plus that your son or daughter ain't a Division I prospect. Now, you might need some help, but if your kid is putting the ball in the hole and he's a prospect and he's playing, it's a no-brainer. You guys know what they're seeing. You ain't nothing we can do to stop that. Ain't nothing. You could drop him in rankings all you want to. It's gonna make a guy look real foolish if that kid ranked number 65 going to a Division I school and he ranked 65 in a city or 70. Jimmy. It'll look really foolish because then people go, why do you got to do way down there? It becomes transparent. Everything becomes transparent after a period of time. Just keep paying attention. Be patient.
I got a question, Jimmy, because we always, Dabo Davis just said something. He said, yeah, we always cover this issue. Now, we ain't never covered this issue like this, Dabo. I don't know where you been. We ain't never talked about this. But you want to talk solutions, right? I don't know the solution for a coward, Dabo Davis. Maybe you got a solution for it, okay? Maybe you got a solution for it. Maybe Jimmy have it. I don't have a solution, Dabo Davis, for a person to go and try to, I don't even remember, because my secretary probably did. I don't even remember making my account for my Twitter, because I used to never be on it. But I know if I took out the time to go through all of that, you tell me a solution, Mr. Davis. How do you deal with that? And I know you're talking about you don't care about goals. So yeah, that's cool. I understand that. Guess what? I'm not caring about the ghost. But I feel there's somebody out there. Notice what I said. Somebody out there been hurt, Mr. Davis, and I want to help them. Things didn't go perfect for me in my son's recruitment. I heard things. But like Jimmy said, you think, my favorite thing, you think, and I said this, Jimmy, and Jimmy kind of took it wrong one time. I said, I'd be less than a man or less than a dad to depend on these clowns or anybody. And I didn't mean to call nobody a name, but that's my responsibility to get my son in school. This morning, Jimmy, out of the blue sky. Let me check this out. Check this out. With Houston, check this out now. With Houston playing, I was thinking about you today. Talking about the Houston Rockets playing. Hope you're doing well. I know let me know when you ever come to Miami, when this stuff is over, hit me up. I got you. Check this out. I said, what up, coach? I can't wait to get out of here. I said, Rob and I were talking about you yesterday. We are great, coach. My family, great. Thanks for believing in him. He said, yes, I just wish we could have finished this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's from the coach that my son from Cornell, African-American coach named Bill Courtney, assistant coach now at the University of Miami, got fired because we had a kid that come on the campus and supposedly raped the girl, black kid from this area, raped the rich girl on our campus, and they scapegoated him.
Allegedly
raped. I'm sorry, allegedly. And but they didn't allegedly fire the black coach. They didn't allegedly do that. They fired him. But that man out of the blue sky, sitting here, Seneca, watching the Houston Rockets play, and thought about me and my son. That's what this stuff is about, man. Not one up in Doug and one up in Jimmy and one up in... That's what this is about. That's a relationship. When I get on a plane and go to Miami, I got a Division I coach saying, man, what you want to do and where you go? Because of the relationship. Couldn't have been a PGW. Because they don't call them PGW. They don't just text them out of the way. It's a man that in the middle of the night, Jimmy, I tell this story all the time. My son called me and said, Dad, I'm sick. I don't know what's going on. He's 1,700 miles away from Houston, Texas. And I pick up the phone and call this man. Him and his assistant coach got up out their bed and took my son to the doctor. Son was very sick. That's what this stuff is about, man. Not one time we talked about a fake tweet. I'm just trying to get y'all to look at the big picture, man. Life is bigger than this little world. That's why I try to bring up people like Adam Clayton Powell. I wish I had known him when I was an 11-year-old boy. That had the audacity to say, power, black power. In the 30s and 40s and 50s. Under Jim Crow laws. Jimmy, so self-assured in who he is, once one of the House of Representatives said, hey, you N-word, don't you ever come sit by me while we in chambers. This in Congress. And guess what? He went and sat by him 5 times. Every time he moved, he moved. Every time he moved, he moved. 5 times, then the dude walked out the door. Hey, we bigger than that, y'all. We're bigger than that. So solutions, I don't know, Bear of Dabo. I don't know the mind of a person that would do that because I wouldn't do it. So Jimmy, I had to go there, baby.
and that's what I gave thoughts on that as far as for people to understand, and that was when a lot of people it's really amazing that you're given too much power where it's not there. And it really, for example, and I want to continue where I was at when I said about the Division I thing. If the vast majority, like for example, and I'll tell you guys, for the vast, first of all, there's a lot of people on here that really don't understand, and I invite you guys to ask questions when you approach me in person. I'm pretty transparent if I got the time. You guys, for those that know me, if I'm sitting there, if I got the time, and if I look like I don't have the time, and I tell you all the time, I don't be joking. Hell, let me know where you're gonna have a cookout at or the drink's gonna be at. I'll be there. I got plenty of time to eat and drink. I keep telling y'all that it's just that simple. I can't be bought. I can be fed though. Now I'm gonna tell you that's for true. It's about the truth. That's about as real as it gets. But you guys know that. Some people now, you think you buying me because I'm eating your meal, then that's on you. You lose it. That's on you for being so naive. But I will come get that. I will come get them crawfish or them shrimp I will come get it. Or some good drink or some good crown. You guys know me. You guys that know. Then pull the bottle out your trunk and get. I would take it. I came back home from Austin the other week with a big blue they got the purple sack, the purple bag, and the purple box. They got a blue box too. I came back with the blue box.
What's the blue box?
They know that.
What's the blue box?
Crown.
Oh.
Crown. XO.
Okay, I ain't.
XO.
Okay.
I sipped some last night. Fell asleep watching that Travis steal the fourth quarter.
Timmy, you should only drink when you go out, man. You shouldn't drink sitting at home.
No, you got to. That's the best time. You that's called a nightcap, Adam. That's a nightcap. That's what you do. How would they call it? My uncles used to call it a nightcap. You get yourself a nightcap. Wake up and it's still something in the glass. You just start laughing. You don't know what to do with it. You can't drink. You got to either put it in the refrigerator or pour it out. But anyway, understand something. RCS Sports college coaches pay, a lot of them will pay an annual subscription. It's kind of like you paying insurance. They will pay for intel, and basically at RCS Sports, with scouting services, a lot of them gather intel and provide to the college coaches in intervals. Well, some guys will talk to college coaches on the phone all day long. I've been there, done that. I remember I used to brag on how many minutes I talked per month. That was my thing back in the days when the cell phone minutes, when some people still had to pay. And I remember my phone minutes would be 15 to 20,000 minutes per month.
I remember
logged.
I remember them days.
Back in the days. And you guys remember, I used to talk about that all the time. And that was my thing. I've been to games. I used to do counts and challenged anybody who have seen more games in one season I did. I remember one year I saw 130 something games in a high school season. That's a high school season. You go add it up and see how many games I had to go see to make 130 something games in the course of a high school season. I ain't talking grassroots. I'm talking about high school season where there's only one gym. You follow me? And so the thing is, college, as over the years, most of my subscribers are Division I coaches. The vast majority, the supreme majority is Division I coaches. So the non-Division I coaches, schools, the rest of which is the majority, which is actually the majority. If you combine all those non-Division I's together, it's more of them than they are the 350 some odd D1s, right? It's 900 and something of them, so to speak. So here's what I'm getting at. If your son is likely to not Oh my God! Like to not be a Division I prospect. How do
I'm sorry, Jimmy, man. He keep messing with me, Jimmy, and I can't say nothing. So I
Haller and Sloan, Haller and Marcus Sloan, they're the two kids in the back of the room throwing spitballs at each other when I'm trying to get some good lesson. They spitting on throwing, put the thing in the straw of the paper. So understand something. What I'm getting at is that if the vast majority of the schools and your son is not a Division I prospect, then and if those schools collectively aren't subscribers, right? That means they're not leaning on the influence of the person that's doing the rankings. Then how can that person know to block you from some D3 in Wisconsin, some D2 in North Dakota, some NAIA school in North Carolina? How can they block you from that school if that school isn't leaning on that person for intel? That's something for you to really think about. I want you to really let that. So what you could do is start asking those coaches. When those college coaches reach out to you, who do you subscribe to in the area? Or who do you lean on in the Houston area? How did you get my name? And you would know who that coach leaned on if you say, well, coach, how did you get my cell number? So that I would know whom to thank. That's all you got to say. So I would know who to thank. I just want to thank a person because obviously you got my cell number from somewhere. I would love to know who you got it from, so I just want to thank them. And that way you would know who that coach leans on. Whoever that coach leans on, that person probably has the power to do more damage than a guy that does the rankings, unless your son is ranked within the top, just say the top 30, top 40 in the area. If you're talking about Greater Houston,
right,
or in Dallas, DFW, if your son is ranked in the top 40, then a person they can hinder the process. They can't stop. They're not going to stop. Even if it's Division I prospect, somebody's still going to take a chance on you. I don't give a damn how bad of a reputation your parent may have in those stands. That's one that may be willing to take the chance. Trust me, everybody doesn't have the same degree or the lack of job security. Everybody don't. So it's something just to think about when you guys understand that I hope when you're thinking about the fear of you're thinking that somebody's going to blackball your kid. And when in truth, I got a magic question, Hal.
Huh?
When in truth, in reality, are you blackballing the scouting service guy? Because if you may be already blackballing that person, then that may be the nucleus of you feeling that way, that retaliation may be coming. That's something to really think about. And so that's something we leave that, guys. And once again, we're going to continue. We're in the overtime session again with this Chop Shop. Y'all, and want to remind you guys, if you are working or have an administration with a small business, self-employed, consider the Chop Shop to help promote your business. You have an upcoming event, consider the Chop Shop to help promote your upcoming event.
Oh, yeah.
Send us an email, chopshophtx@gmail.com. That's chopshophtx@gmail.com. Send an email to us and let us promote your business today. And Herb Ladie, he remembers something I said, Hal. I've said this 100 times about the understanding rankings. It really, no matter what level, understand it's the range. And I was not gonna get no 30 more minutes in. We're gonna try to put this down in 2.5. The range, really. And I wish more of you guys that understand Herb Ladie would try to share that concept with others so that they understand when they're reading. And the range is really important. And you mentioned how Clyde Jackson got upset about those rankings. when hell, his kids were ranked like number in the top 5. They were both in the top 5, I think. If you're top 5 in a city like Greater Houston,
Yeah.
that means you are projected to be a mid to high major prospect. You're expected to probably be, possibly, more times than not, top 5. You're a mid impact to high major prospect if you're top 5. So you're top 5. That means now just wait. Just trust me. There's enough inconsistency that goes on in basketball where somebody's going to not want to bring their lunch pail to work. And guess what? That's the day you eat. And it's going to happen. That's the thing. People stop looking for excuses. Because really, some people, the rankings is just merely a way for you to release some of the venom that you already have built into you about a person in the first place. So you'll hold it in until the day the rankings come out. Then you'll let it all go. Wow.
But Jimmy, the person got to be doing the rankings for. If you ain't doing the rankings, then they ain't got no reason to be mad at you. So, and rankings just a hard bit. And parents, and I was just so blessed, man. I don't know why. You know, maybe I just didn't know enough. Like y'all just know. Y'all got the advantages of having the Chop Shop and all of these outlets. I didn't know nobody to be mad at about rankings. I never called him ever. Y'all got to realize, me and Jimmy, we went on no show and hanging out every day when my son was what? No, I didn't. I told you my son came up to Jimmy when he was little, said, "Man, I'm gonna be in your magazine one day." He told him, he was a little boy. And Jimmy just said, "Man, okay. And guess what? So what I would say to parents, let's ride this thing out. I know you've been hurt. I've been hurt. I know you've been hurt. That's my thing. But these guys, man, they just got their own work. Notice what Clyde said. I'm upset. I don't like what they're doing. I'm going to do my own. Hey, man.
And you go, hold on, ain't going to hire a full-time position. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. Dude,
that's
hey,
just
parents.
I'm hoping. And I talked to Clyde yesterday, and I'm just hoping that was just that event gone wrong, and because in due time, first and foremost, you know, in doing those rankings, the politics that exists, if that's the first ranking of that class, you're not going to put 2 players from your team as 1A and 1B. If there's another kid already ranked in the nation, if you wanted to do one of them, you can't do both of them. You're not going to leapfrog both of them. And that's the thing. But like, you know, but everybody has their own house rules on rankings, their opinions. But at the same time, just be patient. It's going to work out. Those guys, you're giving too much power that don't exist, because those college coaches have seen all these kids play. Most of these kids, they've seen them play this summer.
So if you was a parent, Jimmy,
play, it ain't no way. Let me say one thing.
Come on.
It ain't no way in hell. This pandemic actually rescued a lot of people. Why it hurt some others, but it rescued a lot of people, because it ain't no way in hell that these many college coaches that saw as many 15U games would have seen them teams play while they're going head to head with 17U games during a live period. It ain't no way in hell that all them coaches would have saw these guys play undivided, as they've seen, with their attention undivided, as they've seen this summer. So I want you to let that soak in, especially for the non-Division I. I mean, the non-sneaker programs as well. You non-sneaker programs, you got love this summer. I don't give a damn if Baller TV was fuzzy. You got love, because them coaches still saw some of that stuff. Whatever stream you had, they saw a lot of these games. And we have coaches that have verified it over and over and over, Jimmy, that they've watched it.
Jimmy, it's crazy, man. I mean, in my thing with parents, I like, Jimmy, and I know you talk, because you got the advantage of living this stuff and being on the other side, the haunted, the whatever, the hated or whatever. And I have the advantage of being on the side of I've been a parent that have a player that thought he can play. And but all I try to do is be an example and just say, look, y'all, you can't care about it. Parents, I know it's hard, but I've never sit up and me and my son, one of these days I'm gonna bring him on the show. And we sit up here and talked about, hey man, you ain't ranked. I told y'all I didn't even know the importance of him. Listen to me, y'all. I didn't know the importance of the EYBL, Jimmy, because it was new in its infant stages back then, right? Jimmy, my son just wanted to play, so he wanted them tennis shoes. He said, Dad, you can buy me any tennis shoes you want, but you can't buy them. I got to play and go earn them. I never forget it. So get what I had to do. Go ask some people I didn't want to ask. Man, just give him a tryout. One dude, I didn't talk to him in person. One dude said he wasn't good enough to play on this team. I ain't going to call his name. But he went to the trial. And got his gear that day. Parents, he never said he wasn't thinking about my rank. Hold up, Jimmy. And rightfully so. Hold on. If I knew what I knew now, his little ass shouldn't have been on that team. He wasn't ranked in it. All of them guys was ranked, except Juice.
Little Juice wasn't ranked.
All of them guys, y'all, was ranked nationally on his team. I went in there blind. Listen to me, y'all. I went in there blind. And guess what, y'all? They had a guy. That's why I love him and his mama to this day. Keith Frazier. They brought Keith Frazier. And guess what? Keith Frazier was a top name of McDonald All-America. But in some cases, Robert moved the team better than he did. So I was a daddy, right? I ain't gonna lie, Jimmy, I was mad then. Because I said every time he in the game, we winning, but they put them other guys in the game, we losing. It wasn't about winning. It was about playing the bad dudes. Jimmy, I mean, they wanted to win. But to me, I was saying, man, that's crazy to me. But I know now, parents, that's why I pour my heart out to y'all. Because I didn't come to Jimmy and say, hey, Jimmy, what's the importance of him being on this AAU team? I didn't know Jimmy that good then. I didn't know. I'm thinking my baby wanted them shoes that the EYBL had on. And guess what? He went and got them. I didn't know nothing about this stuff, y'all. So it's possible for your son to get whatever he wants. All he got to do is be good enough. Jimmy just said, ain't no coaches. He ain't never heard of nobody call and say, hey, man, Doug hated on your son. I'm not finna give. Hold up. I'm not finna give Bryce Griggs a scholarship because Doug hated on him. Hell no, that's not gonna happen. Terrence, what's my man named Terrence? The new guy, the guy like not. Who was the guy like? Terrence Williams. Who was the guy like was dunking the ball?
Arsenault.
Terrence Arsenault. Ain't nobody gonna. Parents, we just Mindy. Man, I'm glad to have Mindy back. But Jimmy, happy Women Rock Wednesdays to all the women. I just hope I can just share this stuff with y'all and just. I might not know how to get it out to you. I'm just really pouring my heart to your parents. If he good enough, let me tell you something. They got Uncle Robert. I got him. But there can't be no scrubs now. So Jimmy, you yabba dabba do this thing so we can get the hell out of here.
Yeah. And that is that time. And don't forget, guys, come up tomorrow. We got Lupe Nunez, who was one of the administrators with Under Armour in the grassroots division, as well as co-ran the Texas Hard Work program, which has landed the plane on their run. Lupe has joined forces with taking his talents over to the JL3. That's the program which was founded by John Lucas, and it appears to be an interesting union for Lupe Nunez, his son, as well as one of the most recruitable player underclassmen from his program this past summer, and that's Big Vince. I don't want to chop up his last name too bad right now, but but so he's going to be live on and to address a lot of your questions. And also Lupe promises to give some intel to those out there who may think you have a good young team and is seeking a sneaker deal. And there are teams out there, Texas, that feel just because Lupe is and Texas Hard Work is, they're relinquishing their Under Armour contract, the opting out, so to speak. And that means the question remains, would Under Armour pick up another program now? So that's in talks. You know, we'll let Lupe address that as well, what he hears about that, and what's the possibility of another team replacing them in the ASAC area. Is that a possibility? Or will it be DFW or Greater Houston? So those things and a lot more to be continued or to be talked about or discussed on tomorrow. Make sure if you got any questions for Lupe Nunez, work on them tonight. That way you come on and load them up with the crews on tomorrow, and he can dress them. So that'll be on tomorrow's show, Baby Friday. And ironically, Lupe is the person who actually coined the phrase Baby Friday for us on the Chop Shop.
Oh, that was
came
from, okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
It came from Lupe Nunez. Remember, so yeah, Lupe, he coined the phrase Baby Friday that we call Thursdays because we on Monday through Thursday.
Jimmy,
So
could
anyway,
you please explain something to Barry for me? He just came up there. Yeah, look what Barry just said, man.
let me see.
Barry just said. Look what Barry just said. He just put it up. He said, "Have I got some Under Armour gear for you?" I'll let you answer that, Jimmy, for me, right quick.
I'm saying on the YouTube or the Facebook.
On Facebook. Barry, oh, that's right. You ain't got it. Barry said, "Have I got some Under Armour gear for you?" Under Armour gear. Barry can't do it. That's all I'm gonna say, Barry. Can't do it. But Jimmy, hold up. I got something for you right quick. Wait a minute, right quick. What? Oh man, I hit the wrong button. Jimmy, hold up. I hit the wrong button. Look at me, y'all. I'm by myself in my room. Ain't that something? Now watch me click this button. Wow. Hey, y'all. Hey, we got it going on over here. Hold up, Jimmy. Somebody, Herb the D talking about he got a 5-8-year-old. Can I get a deal? Hey, y'all, it's not happening right now.
Well, that's going to be tomorrow. I mean, a lot of people. Yeah, we'll talk about that a lot more. But it's time to slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing, guys, for this Women's Rock Wednesday. Shout out to all the ladies who chopped it up with us on the Chop Shop today. Minnie Collins, our heart and sympathy extends to your family. I just definitely know how I feel because I haven't even shared with you guys another week. I have another, not just one, but 2 more funerals to go to this weekend. And
were they COVID related?
No.
Okay.
No, one was a heart attack. Okay. I mean, a heart, okay. and the other one just, I think, old,
Okay.
One of my neighbors on the next block. So shout out to Miss Hines and her family. She passed away. She was one of the matriarchs of the neighborhood back when we were growing up. And you guys from Cashmere maybe remember Dennis Hines and from class of '84. So his mama and of course my first cousin, my mom's brother's daughter, Barbara Ann Johnson, she passed away last week. So that funeral will be this weekend as well. So you guys see, and I'm keeping up the energy to still chop it up with you guys 2 hours, 4 days a week, and keep not miss a beat. So I want you to you guys just hang on in there. We'll see you guys on tomorrow. It's time to get up out of here, Adam. Come get ready to push the button. It's time for me to get to work and see you guys. Don't forget this weekend, of course, we got the Southwest Exposure Camp. Southwest Exposure Camp will be taking place Saturday and Sunday. It is filled up.
Well, let's
I
ride.
told him on Twitter how we only had 7 spots. Those 7 spots are gone. So this is going to be a great thing.
I need a spot. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding.
You got a birth certificate?
No,
Come on up in there.
So
anyway, guys, hey man, make sure you spread the word about the Chop Shop, guys. Hey, it's gonna be great tomorrow. I'm talking about off the charts. We can see you guys in 22 hours. Peace. We up out of here.
Hold on.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop